Today's spooky spot, we're going to be having a look at the Van Helsing Monster Slayer. We're looking at yet another Frankenstein, although this one comes with an ice block playset. It does look to be the exact same Frankenstein though. They've done nothing different, although they have given us a block of ice. Block of ice. On the back of the package, we have the figures in this wave. We've got Van Helsing with Rappel and Climb grappling hook. We got Dracula with Rise in Action coffin, and Velkin with the swinging iron pod and breakaway strap. Set was also available, of course, in the Frankenstein version as well. Probably lean more towards getting it with the Frankenstein than I would with the getting it with Velkin. But you can take your sets, and if you were lucky, if you were the luckiest child on the block to get yourself the Castle Dracula, you can actually add these parts to it. I wouldn't advise it, but you can do that. So that's packaging on Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster. What we're going to do is we're going to open this up. We're going to have a look at the figure. Might be good, I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. Prepare to be scared, my friends, because up next is Frankenstein's monster with the ice block playset. Stay tuned. Alright, so now that he's out of package, let's have a look at Frankenstein. We'll look at the monster first, and just to bring in the Frankenstein's monster that came with the Iron Pod playset. Yes, in fact, it is the exact same figure. The only thing that they've done is they've colored him in more of a blue color because he's cold. He's been in ice. So they've given him a little more blue color. Also as well, this particular Frankenstein has light piping. You can see that. The whole back of his head actually they've made it in such a way that the light will shine through, as you can see. Whereas this one actually does not have it. It's the same idea, but for some reason it doesn't seem to have the light piping. Maybe you just need a stronger light, but it doesn't have the glowing eyes that this one seems to have. Aside from that though, it is the same figure, just a slight change in color. Being that he is the same figure, he is going to have the same articulation as well. You can rotate the head. His head feels a little rubbery. You can bend the arms, rotate the arms. You can rotate the forearm, you can bend the elbow, rotate the hand. His hand also is rubbery. You can rotate the waist. This one also doesn't have the button feature that the single-carded Frankenstein had, but his legs do bend. You can bend the knee, and you can bend the foot. Despite the blue color, it's a nice blue, I think Frankenstein still looks kind of silly. Now his one accessory is that he does come with a block of ice, which on its own is very cool. No pun intended. The idea is that you can take the back part of the ice, and you'll know the back because it's got all this extra stuff on it, and you can take the Frankenstein monster, lay him ever so gently into the ice block, and then we're just gonna piece this over him. Find it easier to start at the bottom because then the bottom will actually hold him like that. And then this goes around his head. Actually, you know what? This piece goes first because we want to tuck that in there. Like so. And then this piece here will go at the top. This is so exciting. I can tell all four of you guys are interested in this. And it doesn't sit very well. That's the only problem. You kind of have to really get it in there for it to sit right. Try as I might, I always seem to have problems with these breakaway things. What I'm going to do, I'll just pause this, I'll get this together, and we finally got Frankenstein in his block of ice. The main culprit really is this arm right here. This arm does not want to sit straight, it wants to jet out, and it was blocking where you peg this into place. But when you're finished, you've got yourself a very nice looking display of Frankenstein in a block of ice. Yes, on the back you can see that there's mechanics going on there, levers and such. But on the front, very neat, very neat. Now there is a button on the top. After all this, after all my effort of putting it together, there's a little button on the top that when you press the button, you actually have to push down these little levers inside. When you press the button, watch the magic. It does that. Basically, these push down, and that button extends them out. And that's it. And then Billy can spend the next 15 minutes putting it back together just so he can do it again. I'm not a fan of the Frankenstein. I don't like the design anyways. And despite the fact, yes, it is just a repaint anyways. But I gotta say though, the block of ice, funny enough, the block of ice actually is more interesting. It is actually more interesting than the Frankenstein. And why? Why is this more interesting? Well, hold on one second. It's interesting because if you have a Marvel Universe Captain America, all of a sudden you've got yourself a very cool diorama of Captain America encased in ice. How cool is that? Perfectly scaled. It's not quite, you know, obviously it's not perfect because of all the other things in there, but just goes to show, to buy yourself a really crappy figure like this from a mediocre movie, you can kind of get yourself a pretty cool little accessory for other figures. So I do like that quite a bit. I might actually even just keep Captain America like that in the block of ice. Very, very neat though. Now, it's a shame Captain America didn't come with the set, but today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the Frankenstein's monster complete with breakable ice block. Also serves to be a very cool display for Captain America. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more spooky spots to come, and I will see you guys next time. Woo!